Welcome to my channel.
I didn't expose her. I just let the truth do it. I always thought if something like this ever happened to me, I'd know immediately. You hear stories, right? People say there are always signs, distance, secrecy, changes in behavior. But the truth is, when you're inside it, you explain everything away. At least. I did. My name's Marcus, and until a few months ago, I was in a 3-year relationship with a girl named Elena. We lived together, shared bills, had routines, the kind of relationship that feels settled. Safe. Maybe too safe. Looking back, things didn't fall apart overnight. They shifted slowly. So slowly that I didn't notice when I stopped being her first priority. It started with small things. Elena got a new job at a marketing agency. Better pay, better hours, or at least that's what she told me. At first, I was happy for her. She seemed excited. Again, motivated, alive in a way I hadn't seen in a... Well, but then came the late evenings. Deadlines, she said. Clients, she said. And it made sense. Until it didn't. She started coming home later than usual. Then much later. Then sometimes. Not at all. And every time I asked, the answers came quickly. Too quickly. Like they were already prepared. The first real crack happened on a Tuesday. I remember because I had come home early from work. The apartment was quiet. Her bag was on the chair, keys on the table, but she wasn't there. I called her. No answer. 10 minutes later, she called back. Hey, I'm still at the office, she said immediately. No hesitation. No pause. I looked at her bag again, then at the empty room, and something inside me shifted. Not suspicion. Not yet. Just awareness. After that, I started noticing things. Not actively searching, just seeing. Her phone was always face down. Always on silent. She started taking it with her everywhere, even to the bathroom. There were new clothes I hadn't seen before. Subtle changes, but enough. Still, I didn't confront her, because once you say it out loud, you can't take it back. And I think part of me wasn't ready to hear the answer. The truth didn't come from her. Of course, at DIDN single quotes T. It came from someone else. A guy I barely knew. His name was Adrian. We had met once, briefly, at one of her work events. Didn't think much of him at the time. Until he showed up at my door. I almost didn't open it. It was late, around 10 p.m., but he knocked again, and something told me I should. When I opened the door, he looked uncomfortable, like he wasn't sure he should be there. Hey, he said, you're Marcus, right? Yeah. He hesitated. Then exhaled. I think you deserve to know something. That sentence. It never leads anywhere good. We sat in silence for a few seconds before he pulled out his phone. I didn't know about you, he said. Not at first. My chest tightened. He unlocked his phone, turned the screen toward me. Messages, photos, dates, everything lined up perfectly with her late nights. I didn't interrupt him, didn't ask questions. I just watched. There was no dramatic reveal. No single shocking message. Just a pattern. Consistent. Clear. Real. She told me you guys broke up, Adrian said quietly. I found out last week that wasn't true. I nodded slowly. Why are you telling me this? He looked down. Because if it were me, I'd want to know. Fair enough, when he left, the apartment felt different, not empty, just exposed. Like the illusion had finally been stripped away. I sat there. For a long time, not moving, not thinking. Just letting it sink in. Elena came home around midnight, same as always, same. Routine, keys on the table, shoes off. That was a long day, she said. Exhaling, I looked at her, really looked, and for the first time, I didn't see my girlfriend. I saw someone I didn't know. How was work? I asked she didn't miss a beat. Busy, meetings all day. I nodded. Yeah, I said. I figured. I didn't confront her that night, or the next. Instead, I did something different. I stopped reacting, stopped asking, stopped caring, at least on the surface, and that confused her. I could tell she started watching me the way I used to watch her, waiting for something. Reaction, a question, an accusation. But I gave her nothing. A week later, she suggested we go out, dinner, she said. We haven't done that in a while. I agreed, not because I wanted to fix anything, but because I wanted closure. The restaurant was quiet, dim. Lighting, soft music. The kind of place meant for conversations. She looked nervous, smiled. More than usual? Talked more than usual. Like she was trying to fill space. Halfway through the dinner, she reached for my hand. I feel like we've been distant, she said. I didn't pull away, but I didn't squeeze back either. Have we? I asked. She hesitated. Yeah, a little, I nodded. Maybe. When the check came, I paid. She thanked me. Like everything was normal. Like we were still us. As we stood up to leave. I reached into my jacket pocket. And pulled out my phone. I met someone last week, I said. She froze. What? I unlocked the screen, opened the messages. Adrian had shown me. And placed the phone on the table between us. I didn't say anything else. I didn't need to. Her face changed instantly. Color drained. Eyes scanning. Mind racing. Marcus, I raised my hand slightly, not aggressively. Just enough. No, I said quietly. That was it. No yelling. No scene. Just no. We walked out separately. Didn't even argue. There was nothing left to argue about. Later that night, she texted me. Then called. Then texted again. Long messages. Explanations. Apologies. Excuses. I didn't read them. Not because I was angry, but because I didn't need them anymore. People think closure comes from confrontation, from saying everything you've been holding in. But honestly, for me, it came from something simpler. Seeing the truth, accepting it. And choosing not to stay. I moved out 2 weeks later. No drama. No revenge. No big ending. Just a quiet exit. And sometimes I think that's what hurts the most for people like her. Not being exposed, not being yelled at, but being seen clearly and still walked away from. Because in the end, I didn't need to destroy anything. The truth had already done that. All I had to do was stop pretending I didn't see it.